Well, I'm talking about this group of Air Force officers in the Second World War, and when you really delve into their stories and their histories, you're reminded of just how impossible war is.
Mm.
I mean, I was just, here are these guys. I was just the thing that there was one speech this guy gives, and he's talking about how much stress they're under, and you realize these guys are going up every day sometimes doing these, you go on this bombing run that might be 8 hours, it might be longer. You're getting fired at. You don't know whether you're going to come back. The odds are you won't come back. You come back and you grab whatever sleep you can, and you go up again. And then maybe you lose on one bombing run, you lose 5, 10, 15, 20 guys who you were friends with, and they get replaced by someone. And then you lose a whole nother set the next time you go up. And like the kind of strain that these people are under. There was one thing that Curtis Lemay says when he was in Europe, and I realized that I read somewhere though he talks about it, how when you lose men on a bombing mission, you have to write their families.
Yeah.
So when you come home from a bombing mission and you've lost 100 men, that means you have to write 100 letters. That's just crazy. Can you imagine 100 meaningful letters? I knew your son.
Yeah.
And he served honorably, blah, 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 just like that's just unimaginable to me.
Yeah, it's not like you're going down to CVS and getting thank you cards for the quinceanera. Like, I mean, they're personal. And aren't they hand delivered, if I'm not mistaken, too?
Yeah, they're typically hand delivered by a morale officer or some sort. It depends on the branch of service, but yeah, typically the chaplain and an officer will deliver those letters. It changed in Vietnam, actually. They started sending them by telegram. Which,
Oof.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
And typically they would just leave them on the doorstep or whatever the fuck. I mean, it was, but we can talk about that another time.
That's brutal.
Like it's good to go back and look at these books because it teaches us a couple lessons. One, it teaches us the brutality and sacrifice of warfare, but the cost teaches you two things. It teaches you that we have to take care of these people once they're done, but it also teaches you that we can't fucking walk into conflict willy-nilly like we want to do these days. Everybody wants to be a fucking tough guy and shit. If you want to be a tough guy politician, why don't you put some gear on and go over there and fight?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because all we have in office these days are fucking draft dodgers, to be honest. So I have a great disdain for politicians. I'm not trying to drag you into political shit, but it's the lesson. I go back and watch World War II documentaries all the time to remind myself that nothing that we will ever do will be as important as what those guys did. And the reminder is that if we have to fight again, it has to be something like that. It has to be something that is a legit existential threat to liberty, right? To liberty and humanity before we can fight at that level. Because the next, what's the quote? I don't know what weapons will be used to fight World War III, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. You know what I mean? We can't fucking keep tiptoeing into conflict like this and thinking it's going to be okay. It's not.